Hi everyone! Welcome back to ms.craftsalots Lair. I am Barbie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Beloit, Wisconsin in the US of A. And today I am here to show you a variation of this card. Now, when I did this card, I'm like, hey, that's gonna be cute. Let's do the pandas and the playing around with the new DSP. And then I got done with this one and I'm like, it's a little on the plain side. So I'm going to change it up just a tad bit, show you another a new item that is in the new 2020-2021 catalog, so you can fall in love with that. And this is the beginning, so we'll roll with it, see where it goes. So I changed up the card base. This is the Whisper White card base. But I'm going to change that up to a garden green card base because the fact that I wanted to see, I wanted not to have that monotony of color there. So another thing that I have here is a piece of, oh my goodness, it's a new DSP and I have yet to learn all these names. So I'm going to bring out my catalog here and quickly check. It is the Forever Greenery DSP. So Forever Greenery DSP. This one is actually just, if you are familiar with the Love It, Chop It, I guess it's movement, that's going around on YouTube. You take the 12 by 12 paper and you're cutting it down to the size basically of the card base, the card front. So it'd be the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so as you're doing that, you're picking out which way you want to go as far as if you want your card to be portrait or landscape. I do a strip of landscape and a strip of portrait, and when you're doing the portrait, you end up with about an inch over that you're going to have left over for another piece. So that's how I got this. So it's an inch by 4 1/4, and that's going to go right across the front here. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White, and then I have another little piece of Whisper White here that I measured out to be 2 1/2 inches by an inch, and we are going to be using the Wildly Happy stamp set, because I don't think I showed you this yet. The Wildly Happy stamp set, super cute, can be used for just about anything, but I think it makes really cute baby cards. And this is that new, shiny new item that I was telling you about, product I was telling you about. This is the, let me see if I get this right, the Lovely Labels Pick a Punch. And as you can see, it gives you 2 options. Actually 6 total options, because depending on how, let's see if I can get this right here. So you see these dotted lines on here, and that's actually for the 3 different sizes. So it's an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then I want to say 1/2 inch. So it's, let me see. Yep. 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and an inch as far as your options. And then you can make a total of 6 different labels or punches, or tags rather. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose kind of the more rounded one here. I'm going to start off by punching this out. So I go in and I want to make sure that I've got it in there just right and centered. That was my problem with this particular punch when I first got it, is I was punching kind of cockamamie. So now that I have it where I want it, I'm going to put it back down and go down on the desk, and let's see how this punched out for me. Pretty good. And then I'm going to turn around. I think I might need to grab, oh no, just enough. There's just enough in there that I can touch and grab. And then do the same thing, make sure kind of So if you can see, I'm getting in there and just kind of making sure that it's lined up for both sides. And do the same thing, turn it over, punch down. Let's see how it turned out. I like it. I think this one turned out a little bit better than what my original punch was for this. I was like, oh wait, this doesn't look right. So then for that, it's going to get the Wildly Happy in Garden Green. I was more worried about that getting punched right than stamping it correctly. So let's see if this works for me. I made a little bit of a mess on my stamp. Just don't wiggle it. I can live with that. It's a little crooked, but I won't tell anyone. Except for you guys. You guys know. So then that's it with my Garden Green. I probably should have said that we were going to use the Garden Green ink, but if you don't have the Garden Green ink, you can always use the Stays On or Memento. And that's another thing that went crazy in my tale of my craft room. A bunch of my stuff, I don't know what I did with it, so I lost my snail, which, I mean, isn't the biggest of deals, saying that snail is now retired officially. But I at least wanted it around just a little bit until I got my Stampin' seal in. So this one, I'm going to be putting the DSP strip here about an inch up from the bottom and trying to keep that as level as possible. And then Memento. I could have told you that already, right? Memento. So the inks we're using today are Garden Green and Memento. This is what happens when I take too much time off. I completely lose my way of doing things. Please forgive me, because I will be like this probably for a couple weeks now. And then I was going to put him on in an oval, but I figured fussy cutting worked at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut around him. So I have my Wildly Happy all stamped and punched out. I have my pandas all stamped and fussy cut out. I've already put my strip on that you have already seen. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on dimensionals onto the back of my bears. And as my usual, I'm probably using too many dimensionals, but I don't want these guys to flatten out while they are in the mail on their final destination. So I want to make sure that they're nice and popped up and they don't have very much give to end up getting messed up through the machines and such, because that's just not a good way for a card to arrive. So I'm going to put the bears kind of on top this kind of leafy DSP strip. And I'm also going to bump the Wildly Happy up on dimensionals because, well, I like my dimensionals, so it works for me. Probably could have gone with the smaller dimensionals for this particular label, but you guys get the drift. One day I will learn. Today's not the day. Tomorrow's not looking any better. In 20 years, I'll still be saying, maybe I'll learn not to use so many dimensionals. And there we are. There's my finished card for today. It's got a little bit more of a pizzazz to it. Another thing you can do to kind of step it up is to do a little bit of ribbon or linen thread behind it, or even like stamping some of the leaves from another stamp set that I'm thinking of is probably the Lovely You stamp set. You can kind of stamp some of the leaves that go along in there. But it's a good kind of simple card for you to get out and have fun and get your little stamping fingers working. So here is my card. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this project, please like, share, subscribe, and watch more. You can find links to my Stampin' Up! Store, blog, dimensions, and the product list in the description below. Until next time.